landing on Cryptex land. Get off the ship and take a walk. Take any guitar and start your own band. Here you can sing, here you can talk, here you can say whatever you want. Here you can stay, become a mutant. Just try to be nice. For hate there is no space. Don't skate on thin ice. You better not run that race. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the rules. Don't hate but create. You are landing on Cryptex land. Get off the ship and take a walk. Take any guitar and start your own band. Here you can sing, here you can talk, here you can say whatever you want. Here you can stay, become a mutant. Just try to be nice. For hate there is no space. Don't skate on thin ice. You better not run that race. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the polls. Don't hate, but create. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the polls. Don't hate, but create.
Hello guys, how are you? Cryptex here. Please let me know if my sound is good or not. Today I'm gonna talk about the preview that Tom Webster posted today about his next interview with Andy Baldwin, the defense attorney of Richard Allen, and the other attorney, I forgot her name. Anyways, Hiawatha. This is not the interview clip. It's only a preview with very edited questions that he asked them. The interview is 6 hours long and will be premiered on Saturday. Yes, I know that, but anyways, the 6 minutes video he posted today are, in my opinion, are great. So I want to talk about it. And anyways, with that video, you can sense what launch is gonna be next Saturday. I think is the whole interview, 6 hours. So anyways, post-punk mama. Webster is better in short spurts. Anyways, I really respect a lot Tom Webster. It's not a popular opinion here, but I respect him a lot. See today, I'm here looking for retest unknown DNA. Yeah. Is this supposed to be funny? Is this what are you meaning? What are you talking about? We have a troll. We have a troll in the house tonight, so it's gonna be fun. Alf is there. Alf is there. Tom Webster is a comedian, so I'm sure. See today, I'm here. Sound is good. Thank you for that, Mary. How are you, Mary? I think it's really late in your country tonight. At this time, I mean. I sound good. Cool. Okay, thanks, guys. OJ. Exactly. OJ. I forgot her name. Normally, AKA Monday is here. He's good with numbers, but like that's it. I will give him more credit than that, in my opinion. Hiawatha, I respect Tom too. He used to be completely unbiased. Now, not so much. I think he is unbiased, in my opinion. I don't share his opinions, all of them. I don't share all of his conclusions, but I really think he's honest. I think he's unbiased, actually. And Tom is one of the prosecution YouTubers that I really respect. My Delphi handle was Monday. You're Monday. Okay. You are Monday. Sorry, Monday. I didn't recognize you. You're killing me, guys, with the handles. Come on. Way too heavily edited. Because he wants us to have that sense of curiosity. It's normal. It's a good move. Sorry if you are not a troll. Sorry, my bad. But when you were saying that, is this supposed to be funny or something like that? I don't know. Anyways, Amy is here. How are you, Amy? Happy to have you here. Good to see you. I can't listen properly as I am at kids' playground. Cool for you. Hiawatha, the man has intelligent, respectful, conversational. 100%. I agree with you. I've got genuine questions and opinions. I'm sub to Tom. Yeah, me too. I am. Post-punk. I have a hard time deciding if Tom is always doing a dry humor bit or if he's serious. It's just his personality. He's like that. No problem. No problem. Hola, Big J. Is interviewing Andy and OJ, yes, and he posted a clip of like 5 minutes, like a preview for the interview. The whole interview is gonna be 6 hours. Mary, a lot of people now believe that Richard Allen is innocent. I always believed that. Yes, I know you believe that. So let's go with Tom Webster. First of all, I want to say chapeau, and sorry for this. Chapeau to Tom, having Baldwin and OJ. It's a great document, in my opinion. Point for the defense attorneys. It is great to have Andy Baldwin talking to the opposite side. You know what I mean? A pro prosecution YouTuber doing an interview with Baldwin. I would like to see also the opposite. Let's say a pro defense attorney doing an interview with Nick McClelland or Jerry Holman. Of course, they're not going to do that. We know that they are chickens. They are not going to be that brave to talk to YouTubers from the other side. So I appreciate this kind of opening from Baldwin. It takes something to do that. So I appreciate that. Now, that being said, I think that at least in this 6 minutes short preview, Tom, he was killing Baldwin and OJ. This is another proof that those guys are so incompetent. In my opinion, they were not even prepared to answer to normal questions that someone from the other side is gonna ask Baldwin. So if they look that bad when talking to a YouTuber, I cannot imagine when they were actually in the courtroom. For real, those guys are really incompetent. I know, guys, that a lot of you like Baldwin and Rosie, but they are really incompetent. Seriously. The questions that Tom Webster was asking were kind of standard. It's the same questions we are asking since forever, and they were not able to answer properly, seriously. So let's see how was this interview sorry. Let's do it.
I debated the Delphi Murders case with two of Richard Allen's attorneys for over 6 hours. The full video of that discussion will premiere next Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, New York City time. But here is a preview of some of what we talked about and some of the questions that are going to be answered. And there will be a chat box to the right of the video if you want to join and chat as it first premieres.
Plants, who was an FBI agent who did the sketch for Sarah Carbaugh. And she's like, I don't want to see anything because I don't want my brain affected by anything. I want to go off my memory. And he says, well, we can cheat. And he says that multiple times, the word cheat. And Judge Gall said, I don't care. I don't care. That sketch is not coming in. And you're not going to be able to talk about the fact that they said that they were going to cheat.
All of these people are consistent in their inconsistency in matching it to Rick Allen.
I think it's important. He said that he saw somebody at the bridge, and the only person that could be is Betsy after 1:50 p.m.
If you believe in that time, in that timeline, it always comes back to that.
Well, I'm basing it on the Hoosier Harbor store showing Betsy arriving at 12:02, 1:15, 1:46, and the 2:19, and these four girls taking these photos. And these five people never saw Rick between the noon to whatever 1:15 time frame. So what evidence do you guys have that Rick was even there at noon to 1?
We don't have to prove anything. You know, if we're going back, the state has to prove this. So where's the state's evidence? You know, give me a description that matches Rick Allen. Did anyone at the trail give a description that matched Rick Allen?
Like, to me, it doesn't add up. And you're saying that the descriptions of Rick don't match. But however, to me, his descriptions of the girls, where he saw the girls when he arrived, very accurate, saying they were sisters, and 3 out of the 4 were sisters. Then he walks the entire trail, says he stands on platform 1. He admits he stood on platform 1. He admits that he saw somebody when he was on platform 1. The only person that could have been was Betsy after 1:50.
I understand you're actually, I would say, doing a better job than the prosecutor did.
I agree with Baldwin 100%, and Baldwin is still doing a horrible job here, doing this interview with Tom. Tom Webster was asking a very specific question, and what was the answer of Baldwin? If you believe the timeline of the prosecution, what a stupid answer, for real. If that's the way he was representing Richard Allen during the process, of course, that's why he's behind bars today. Horrible lawyers, incompetent lawyers, for real. And again, chapeau to Tom Webster asking hard questions, which is the type of interview that we like. Should be like that. Tom, he looks a little bit nervous when he talks. I don't know why. But anyways, great questions. And look at the faces of Baldwin and OJ. Like, they're lost. They don't know what to answer.
Okay. You've made more sense to me than most anybody else, I would say, that I've listened to. Okay. I still don't agree with it. I still don't believe it. I still have all these issues with it. But at least you're logical. At least you're trying to parse this thing down logically. And I appreciate that.
I like this comment from Baldwin. Very, I'm not going to say humble, but very fair. Yeah, Tom is very logical. And I think that's why he accepted to have this interview with Tom Webster. So another point for Baldwin here, very fair in his appreciation versus Tom.
Have you had a chance to look at the appeal?
I was preparing for this interview so long that I did not have a chance to.
That may be one of the most interesting witness interactions I've ever seen.
Either way, it needs to be looked into. But to me, it's kind of embarrassing and shameful the way that Liggett operates. All those guys, for that matter, they never apologize about anything. They never feel any shame about anything. Betsy's very upset about it. So, but I think 2019 is when she comes in and says, "What are you guys doing? If you're saying that I saw the guy, that ain't the guy."
And then the data we got from the state kept changing. You know, every time we had a hearing, oh no, it wasn't what I said it was this.
You know, but I can tell you in a normal world, that is not the way that it goes down. It's shameful, honestly, the way that we were treated by the prosecution and law enforcement. I mean,
I totally understand that. And one of my concerns is like, how unified was the unified command if they all didn't have access to these files? And like you guys mentioned, some of these like PDFs had really long nondescript file names.
I don't know if you were in the courtroom, did you hear me gasp at that? I audibly gasped and Nick heard me. A lot of my motions, I would say, not so good. These are really good ones.
Why did you not call the Purdue professor, Jeffrey Turco, at the summer 2024 hearings for third party to explain if you thought there was a message with those sticks? I don't.
Great question. Why the defense didn't call Turco? I don't know. I hope Tom is gonna ask about the clients, about Rizzy Davis, about Chadwell. There were a lot of people that were supposed to be part of the process as witnesses, and they didn't call those guys at the end. And he's asking, why didn't you call Turco? We don't have the answer here in this clip. We have to wait until Saturday. But again, great question from Tom.
I'll let you guys go. But I mean, Rick said there may have been somebody at the bridge. Like, why is that not important to us? Yeah, so in the PCA that Doolin said, Rick did not remember description of the females he passed. Yet, as I mentioned before, 5 years later, he gave a very accurate description of those girls. To me, that's kind of shady. A lot of people want to know, what did you guys do to find 3 girls at noon who Rick said he passed? Good. Isn't there discovery that shows everybody who was on the trail that day?
No.
You know, that's where that whole sleuthing world, I don't know if you consider yourself part of that universe, but I wish I could delve into that world. Like, I wish I could get on
you
Reddit.
don't trust me. It's crazy. He doesn't deny it. He wants to end the interview right there. And he's like, arrest me. You went to Georgia to Ryan Boucher's home, correct?
Yes.
Did you see this screenshot? Because what's on the internet is only the photo. Now, I know you guys have said that there's phone data that proves that Richard Allen could not have been the killer. Would you like to discuss that?
Is that someone happened upon these bodies at 5:44 p.m. And instead of saying, hey, I found 2 dead bodies, they decided to root around under the bodies, find a phone, plug in some headphones, maybe hang out until 10:32 or come back at 10:32 and unplug the headphones.
So to me, like this whole idea that somebody's standing there for 5 hours or 3 hours after the murders, randomly plugs in the headphones within less than 1 second of the grandmother calling and the phone actually moving back and forth. It's dubious, as you say.
It's incredibly dubious that someone was out there where the bodies were found with the phone. What I'm saying is the bodies weren't there.
Yeah,
so maybes and
So she's saying that the bodies were not there. She's saying that. What was the support to say that? They look bad here, in my opinion. They don't know how to answer. I don't know. We have to watch the whole interview, the 6 hours interview. I'm gonna buy my popcorns for Saturday. This is gonna be great, for real. But in this preview, Baldwin and OJ, they look really bad.
But you guys have a lot of maybes too. When I did some other issues, you guys had alternate scenarios.
You know, there is no evidence of water damage to the phone. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, there's no evidence that they were taken away from the scene after 2:32 that you guys just said.
Except
there is evidence, and that's the 4:33.
Tell me, if they were taken away, the reception is better out in the open road compared to being on the ground with a shoe on top and Abby's body.
Look at Baldwin and OJ. They're trying to look for some notes to try to answer to a basic question that they were supposed to be prepared to answer. They look really bad, seriously, really bad.
Experiencing rigor mortis.
unless you have it in a bag or there's something that is interfering with the reception.
But it would show movement. The reception isn't dependent upon movement. The phone's going to register movement. It's totally different than perception.
Not if it's in a car.
If they went in a car, how did the bodies get back to the crime scene without the phone registering movement? Your expert, Stacey Eldridge, a lot of people were kind of shocked that in her affidavit, she said, quote, I reviewed photos of Liberty German's iPhone 6S taken by the Indiana State Police. The phone does not appear to be wet, dirty, or covered in debris in any of the pictures, end quote. However, a simple look at the photo shows all of that's not true. It was wet, it was dirty, and it was covered in leaves.
I think it's outrageous that she allowed that in. I mean, it's just crazy outrageous. Yet that's what the cards that we were dealt with this particular judge and how she treated both sides.
Everyone's terrified of that.
Well, I understand your points are valid, but what is a scenario that somebody is plugging in headphones into Libby's phone, nothing else happens for 5 hours, then they plug it out? Like, what is the scenario? What's the point?
I'm in Brad Weber's outbuilding. And
well, why not turn the phone off completely to turn it off, to stop it from ringing?
They didn't think about it.
Or it's faster to plug in headphones.
But here's what I do know. The police screwed it up. And because of that, my reasons might be right or your reasons might be right, but we're never going to know. And they've owned that and they've admitted to that.
The Apple Health data does not.
I agree that the investigation was crap, but I disagree with your answers here, Baldwin. You're answering in a terrible way, for real.
Put that phone at the location where it was found on February 14th. It just doesn't. That phone was not there at 2:32.
Where was it?
I would love to know.
I mean, Tom Webster is smelling blood. He knows that he's bombarding them with questions and they look like they don't know how to answer, for real. They are not prepared at all, and they were not prepared during the process.
Well, how can you say it's not there if you can't say where it was?
Probably.
He's a shark. He's doing a great interview here. He's being a shark.
With the killer. I'm passionate about this. I believe in Rick's innocence. And I don't, if I sounded, I didn't mean to sound dismissive of anything you had to say, and I hope I didn't. Just
no, I appreciate hearing alternate views.
For Rick. But it's really good to hear these viewpoints, and that I've been taking a lot of notes of things you said. That it's been a good. I've
been taking a lot of notes about the things you're saying. Are you serious? For real? Like she's learning new things. She was not expecting this kind of questions. Come on, what the? That's crappy attorneys. Seriously, I like Baldwin. I think he's incompetent, but this girl is really at the bottom of the whole bucket, let's say.
Intellectual conversation, and I appreciate that.
But that's not my job. My role is in the system is not to find the truth like the prosecutor's role is. But in this case, I am after the truth. In this case, I do want to find who killed these girls. I don't believe it's Rick Allen. I don't. It just doesn't add up for me.
Did any of those businesses capture the main street of Delphi where Rick would have gone based on the route that you said he did?
Dana, this is why people should not talk to the police. This is what I tell people all the time. Harshman basically, I don't want to say he lied under oath, but when Harshman got up there, he's very, very loose with the facts.
But did you flat out ask Rick, did Dr. Walla ever tell you anything about Evan? But there were
what happened.
Phone calls where he's describing to his mom and his wife saying, I'm guilty. So it's not really that hard for me to believe that he also told Dr. Walla. I felt like one of the most powerful days at the trial is one after another, one guard saying, I felt like Rick was faking it. And here is what he told me about being guilty. That was very powerful to me sitting.
If you believe those guys, I don't believe hardly any of them.
But I mean, there's no denying there's 8 phone calls where he's telling his wife and mom the same thing. A variety of people, and even at Cass County Jail, after he left Westville, he said that he killed Abby and Libby.
Rick Allen is permanently messed up.
So do you think it was wise to put him in a cell with anybody else, or to allow him out into general population where he might be physically assaulted?
And for this,
So you can see here clearly who is prepared. Tom, who is not prepared at all. Badly.
Say shame on you, Judge Gall. I can't remember why we got started on that topic. I'm terrible at going on tangents there, but
If the whole speech is shame on you, Gall, shame on you, Holman, we know that already. Shame of them, but you have to provide answers with more substance. You know what I mean? They're liars. Shame on you. You are not doing better than a normal viewer of a Pro Allen YouTube channel. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be the professional. You're supposed to be the attorney. You are supposed to know the details of the case, and you are answering like a child. Come on, man.
Give me some guidance here, Tom.
I don't even remember. Now, the guard said after he got his legal discovery, that is when he changed. Can you describe exactly what he was given? Can you describe like how active he was in reading his own discovery?
Why did Rick Allen take the time to arrange these sticks in the way that he did? Why did he do that? And the answer is because he didn't do it, and somebody else did. And it looks like Norse paganism. That's what they all thought at the beginning.
What a crappy theory, the Norse paganism. If the appealing attorneys are gonna use the same shitty strategy, Richard Allen is gonna be forever behind bars again. Still pushing that theory. Come on. So dumb. Use the clients. Use Ron Logan. But paganism.
And that's the most likely answer.
Well, I did read every word of all of your 4 Franks memos. So did your symbolism change from Hail Odin to Hail Water, or what? I mean, you've never really said or had an expert say what those runes are supposed to represent.
You know, I could be wrong on any of that. Okay, I was making a guess, just like anybody, just like Turco did, and he's an expert. And Nick clearly lied to me in February of this year when he said that we gave you everything that we had.
Well, you said in the Franks memo that he was doing that around the same height as the F tree, and you said that the F tree was around 4 feet off the ground, but he's 6'5", reaching as high as he can, which is like 8 feet.
Yeah, I was wrong on that. Like, the jury should literally.
I was wrong on that. Are you serious? How can you be wrong on that simple thing that is so important for a case like this one? No. I really need to buy my popcorns because on Saturday, this is gonna be a massacre. Tom Wester is killing the defense attorneys for real.
Really be laughing at us and saying Rick Allen, beyond a reasonable doubt, was guilty of this crime. That's what a jury should be thinking. And all this other stuff is hocus pocus.
But the jury did vote him guilty. But officers Click and Murphy testified at the third-party hearing in the summer of 2024. They could not place any of those Odinists at the crime scene. So how would the jury think that it was Odinists at the crime scene if these 2 officers are saying we can't place any of them here? Well, if you were able to talk about the Odinists at the trial, the prosecution likely would have had Holder's human resources manager testify he did not clock out until 2:45 p.m., which is a half hour after the Bridge Guy video. And he worked like a half hour away. So
Hi. Hey, this is this is Brad Holder, buddy, that's on the second shift there. I forgot to clock out. Man.
Come on, you're being a clone. You have to provide some type of evidence if you are going to go with that wild theory. This is a beautiful theory for a YouTuber. But if you are a defense attorney and you're going to go with that far-fetched situation, you at least have to provide some type of evidence to go with that on a YouTube interview. You know what I mean? It's just unacceptable. It's just bad. Come on.
I don't want to get in trouble. Can you clock me out, man? Can you clock me out? That's all that it takes.
That's an answer from a clown. Seriously. It makes me mad, really.
I say that there is no way in hell that they didn't get Brad Holder's phone dump, or that they intentionally avoided getting Brad Holder's phone dump, or you are the worst detectives on the planet Earth.
So speaking of Brad Holder, you referenced in 2 of your filings.
So I agree with that. They were the worst detectives ever here, but you were the worst defense attorney as well. So crappy detectives, crappy law enforcement people in this case, but crappy defense lawyers.
There is significant evidence that both Westfall and Holder were involved in the murders. And so your theory is that they worked together, correct?
Well, I'm saying the evidence supports that as a possibility. Yeah.
Well, I understand that you think that, but I have a screenshot of his Facebook, February 5th, 2017, Logansport, Indiana, which is obviously 8 days before the murders. Patrick Westfall will take over my responsibility as Gothi for Tribe of Gugnir's Path. Westfall said to Holder, you have to make a decision, either Ossetru or church. And Holder could not make that decision. So at that point, Westfall said he kicked Holder out of his living room, and they never spoke again. So to me, this February 5th, 8 days before the murders, points to that was maybe that day that happened. And so February 13th, Westfall and Holder are not planning a ritual in the woods to kill white kids as white supremacists.
You know, and if a jury hears all of these.
Of course, Tom Webster is totally right there. The Odinism theory is crap, and they're still pushing that theory.
These coincidences, it adds up to reasonable doubt. And it
Well,
would have
isn't
been
that
not
considered
guilty.
hearsay? And Judge Gull said hearsay is not allowed for the nexus.
She doesn't know what hearsay is, Judge Gull. Come on. Tom, I can't tell you how inappropriate that is. It's totally inappropriate for a judge to do that. Totally.
The round at the crime scene next to Libby's foot was a Winchester. Did you ever ask Rick why he kept that Winchester in his keepsake box? So what was your reaction as his attorney when you heard your client is telling people, including his wife and mom, that he committed this crime that you're trying to defend him for? Rick's wife, Kathy, said on the phone after he's confessing to her, she says, "You're not well." And Rick replies, "I'm well." Kathy says, "No, you're not." Rick replies, "Yes, I am, honey." And his mom, Janice, at some point said, "I think they're just messing with you." Rick replied, "No, Mom, they're not." And Rick confessed to 9 people over 11 days, even before taking Haldol, and at least 9 times after he was determined not to be psychotic anymore. So are there any kind of studies that you saw that Haldol would make somebody to confess to murders they didn't commit? So did Rick ever ask you about any options to plead guilty? Did he ever ask to be transferred to a mental health facility? There were obviously these confessions to his wife and mom and these phone calls. Did he ever talk on the phone to his daughter or no?
Judge, stop rolling your eyes. Stop, shake. There's things that she was doing that were inappropriate, And according to this juror, the judge said, we have a history with one another.
Something that people find suspicious is Rick's phone is missing from the day of the murders. What did you as the defense team do to try and find that phone to prove his innocence?
Great questions. Great questions. Look at the face of Baldwin. Oh my God. He's being destroyed. I cannot imagine this guy during the process dealing with McLeland and Engel. If he looks that bad talking to Tom, is kind of sad.
A lot of people are suspicious, the world was looking for Bridge Guy. And Rick he told his wife that he wasn't even on the bridge. A lot of people find that suspicious. What do you think about that? As somebody who talks to Richard Allen a lot, can you totally exclude his voice as matching the guy on the Bridge Guy video? One of the witnesses, Anna, said that Bridge Guy was wearing a windbreaker. Did you ask if Rick owned a blue windbreaker in 2017?
What I have to presume is Nick got caught red-handed. He knew that he had these items. He knew that, and he lied to me in the email.
But if you think about Reese Davis, didn't he say that you're an ignorant lawyer and you tried to get him to lie? Why did you not call Richard?
Holy shit. What a question. Hey, let's repeat that. What a question.
Lie? Why did?
Holy shit! I want to listen to that answer next Saturday.
Lied to me in the email.
But a few things about Reese Davis. Didn't he say that you're an ignorant lawyer and you tried to get him to lie?
Oh, holy shit! What a question, Tom Webster. I will love this interview. I'm sure about it. I already love it. Just looking at this preview, but I cannot imagine the whole interview.
Why did you not call Richard Allen to testify on his own behalf? How did Rick react to the guilty verdict? Why was Rick transferred to Oklahoma? I guess my final question is, I've heard this term factually innocent, and I know you've talked about a lot of things during this very long discussion,
Sure.
why you think Rick is innocent. Can you define factually innocent and why overall you think Rick is factually innocent?
Sure.
Anyways, I think that they look really, really bad. Jenny, I'd like to see you cryptex represent Rick. Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't be a better lawyer than Baldwin, I think. But they look really incompetent for real. Let me go to the chat here, guys. For our okay. Don't remember what was the last question I displayed here. I like Tom questions. Awesome questions. I agree with you 100%. And again, I'm gonna give a couple of points to Andy Baldwin, to be fair. Just the fact that he accepted this interview is great. Holman and McLellan, they're not able to do the same. They don't have the balls. At least Baldwin, he has some balls. We have to say that. That's a point for Baldwin. Okay. No, Hiawatha is never blocked. She's the one. I kind with you on his possible biases. So this is real? What do you mean? Yeah, of course it's real. The whole interview is coming on Saturday. I'm so curious about this. Me too. If this 5 minutes are a great trailer, if we can call it like that. Great trailer from Tom Webster. Monday, let's look at Logan remodeling job, bathroom, on his new bathroom before judge search warrant. That's a perfect and very valid comment, Monday. That's the problem with the defense attorneys. They are not using the angle you are using. You are being logical. They are not. They are just trying to sell shit. And some people eat shit, you know? Post-punk mama. Andy's been saying he's willing to talk to the other side. It's great. Again, great point for Baldwin. Doing that is awesome. He's also like 15, looks way younger. Tom Webster, you mean? Hiawatha. Okay. Amy, I'm disappointed in the defense. I think they cared, but they missed a lot of stuff, in my opinion. Obviously, I don't know everything that happened, though. Yeah, of course. But some people are not disappointed. Some people believe that Baldwin and Rosie are great. And they did a horrible job. And they still trying to clean the image of the defense attorneys here. They were as incompetent as the detectives were. Same weight in each side of the balance, in my opinion. Post-punk mama. Either Tom has a great filter on his camera or he's got an excellent skin care routine. Yeah, he looks like a baby. I agree with you. He's like Benjamin Button. Every day that passes, he looks younger. Just James, just my opinion, but I think I disagree. I think Tom is great. Post-punk mama, I sort of agree with that. But also they were fighting with their hands tied and blindfolded. Their hands were not that tight. They had a great material with the clients. They had a great material with the Logan's angle. They didn't want to use those strategies, and there's something weird there's something really weird about it. I agree. I agree with you, Mary. Amy, Tom uses confirmation bias reasoning a lot, which displeases me, but I don't have an issue with him as a person. I think that a lot of the opinions Tom has are easily challenged. You can challenge Tom Webster very easy. And I was expecting that in this interview, but it doesn't look like Baldwin was able to do it. So that's the problem. Baldwin was the one representing Richard Allen. Amy, I think my biggest bugbear is smug confidence about things that are not logical or proven. Boston Christian, how are you? Hit the like button. Yeah, please, guys. We are 34 people here at this moment, so I'm expecting 33 at least likes. So hit the like, even if you disagree with your good friend Cryptex. Monday, stage crime scene. Staged by who? Law enforcement. Amy, Cryptex, I can't hear you, but you look unimpressed. I am unimpressed by Baldwin. I'm not impressed by Tom because I was expecting that from Tom, because he has a lot of details. He did a deep research. So, of course, I was expecting Tom asking those type of questions. Yeah, great job. But I was unimpressed by the answers from the defense. So let's see the whole interview here. But anyways, they look bad. He said there were 3 girls. One girl was 5'7" and said she only went up to his shoulder. You're doing body languages. Okay. V is here. Amy, he's pretty much saying terrible, horrible, no good, very bad defense lawyers. Yeah. So yes, you are correct. Yeah, and incompetent. You missed that synonym. But wasn't it down between 2 timelines, the pros and defense? The details of this haven't stuck to me, by the way, so correct me, please. Yeah, it was a very good translation from V. But my vocabulary, sorry, I had a lapsus between Spanish and English here. My vocabulary was wider than that, V. Sorry for that. I said incompetent. I said a couple of other words in that regard. We need a talker show with me. First 48, but when doors, okay. They couldn't talk about the sticks. They're gonna talk on Saturday for sure. I want to know about that answer, but they're gonna say, this is an Odinism situation. They were runes, stuff like that. Yeah, no evidence. I agree with you. Tom was asking great questions, but some of them were like asking about the voice of Richard Allen, something that subjective. So I want to see what Baldwin is going to answer. That was one of the easiest questions, let's say. Again, I think you can challenge Tom Webster easily, but Baldwin, it doesn't seem to be able to challenge Tom. They couldn't speak about the third-party suspects, but they could have interpreted the crime scene. Yes, and the prosecution, they interpreted as well. So if it's a matter of interpretation, who's the one having the reason here? Who's gonna be right? I feel this case was fucked fundamentally. That their case in chief with all the details is not going to be as robust. But I don't know. Yeah, crappy investigation for sure. Pauletta. How are you, Pauletta? I feel there's suppressed digital evidence that tells the full story. And the full story is going to be in favor of Richard Allen or in favor of the defense. I don't know. Whoever did this would have shown some indicators of the geofencing and cast analysis. They only gave defense a tiny drop in the ocean of what was actually analyzed. I think this is a big exaggeration, but I get your point. A girl shot them down when the prosecution mentioned the scene as an undoing, and the defense wanted to give their interpretation. She shot them down? Good point, because that was not an undoing at all. I think it's like the opposite. It was a doing. Undoing? No way. Protect the family. Tom is concentrating on the details of the case, while the attorneys are looking at structural, just prosecutorial bullshit. But the devil is in the details, you know what I mean? If you want to release your client, you have to know the details, you know what I mean? You are the defense attorney. If you are not the one knowing the details of the case, how is he gonna be out of prison, you know? What do you mean protect the family, Monday, again? Tom faked this one, not real. I disagree with you. I think he's very real, very genuine, very honest. I disagree with him in a lot of things, but he's the one in that side of the prosecution side that I think he's one of the good people here, my opinion. No cryptics. She's taking notes because it gives them an idea where to focus in a retrial. Well, I don't know if that was the moment to take notes. They're gonna have the interview available in YouTube, so it looked to me like a different type of scene, but I get your point, and maybe you're right. Mother of Dragons. Ghoul played sides. I don't think they had a chance when Ghoul shot them down. But now they have a chance to talk, to answer some questions, and they're not able to answer so properly. Tom's line of questioning deliberately flattens complexity. Yeah, I agree with you. That's his style. Ooh, vicarious vigilante. Vicarious meaning observer, right? Vigilante meaning vigilant. Hello, Peggy. How are you? Hi, nice to have you here. Good question. Turco changed his testimony in deposition from the Holman interview, so they couldn't bring him in. The jury missed out on so much. The depositions are where the answers are. Turco changed his testimony. Why? What was the reason to change his testimony? Amy, I heard them still say headphones in and out like it's golden, and it's not exactly. I agree with you 100%, Amy. They're doing bad. Seriously. No, Peggy is always here. I still don't know if Richard Allen did or did. I still don't know if Richard Allen did it or not, but his trial was messed up. I agree with you 100%. He deserves a new trial for real. Oh yes, I was exasperated a little bit. Come on, was expecting professional answers here, and really disappointed. Anyways, post-punk mama. We don't know if he said that as a response. This is really chopped up. Yeah, let's see the whole interview. Yeah, it's edited, but I think that actually Tom Webster is like being nice. Yeah, he was smelling blood. He was smelling blood, and he was bombarding the defense attorneys with those questions. So I think it's gonna be something next weekend. Let's see. It's just my feeling. Again, if I compare this with like a big movie, this was a great trailer, and in my case, I'm expecting a great interview next weekend. So then that couldn't be blood splatter. It's too high. Good point. I like to see you do Rosie Baldwin and Ogier job cryptics. I was not born to be a lawyer, so I know I prefer the engineering side of this world, let's say. Amy, we can't place any of them because we don't have full digital evidence. Cryptex rules. Amy, the upsetting thing is you can send them information that helps them, and they ignore it in favor of these theories that can be debunked 100%. 100%. And there's something fishy there. And if you are being logical here, you can smell that as well. It's not normal that they're still using the crappy Odinism theory. Again, they should be able to provide a nexus if they use the clients or the Logan's theory, but they're still going with the crappy Odinism stuff. Well, they have an alibi. Is a solid alibi, yes or not? But they have the card being punched. You can challenge that alibi. You can, but it is an alibi. You know what I mean? So saying the opposite is wild, in my opinion, because you have to have some type of support to say that he was faking that exit from job, that record of the job. How can you call that? The job card to get out of your shift. Anyways, Tom is naive, and it's a good guy. I think he's not naive. He has his opinions, and yeah, I think he's a good guy. I agree with you. Okay. Because it's not the interview, it's just a preview. So I don't think it's gonna be actually edited. The whole interview is gonna be 6 hours. This is just a trailer, you know what I mean? And of course, you have to do some type of editing. Yeah, this is just to create expectation, you know what I mean? So it's normal. It's not a ritual about white supremacy. Oh my God, it's pseudo ritual sadistic murder. Yeah, but they don't understand that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, exactly. The whole 6.5-hour interview will be released later. Exactly. I like to watch the live myself. No, it's gonna be next. I think it's next weekend. Anyways, you can check in the channel of Tom. Andy looks upset. I probably lose it at this point. Frustration overload. Yeah, he's very patient. Another point for Baldwin. He's patient. He had the balls to accept this interview. He was talking a very high way about Tom Webster. So yeah, he was very elegant. We have to give him that. But none of those things is helping Allen, in my opinion. I feel like Andy wasted his time if this is 6 hours long. Yeah, but Tom Webster, he didn't waste his time. Haldor was used in the Cold War to elicit confessions. Cryptes, can you get Tom on your channel and we'll debate him and answer his questions instead? I invited Tom Webster to my channel and he replied to me by inviting me to his channel. So I was in Tom Webster's channel and I challenged some of his ideas. In my opinion, it was a cool interview. He was very kind to provide that option to me. So it was cool to talk to him again. And you can see, if you are interested, you can see that conversation between Tom Webster and myself, and it was cool. He challenged me. I did the same to him. It was a nice interchange of ideas. Defense attorneys have no burden of proof, despite what you all think. Yeah, I know that, and that looks like a very poetic and very beautiful, and those are like nice words, but this is not the real life. You are being accused of a murder. You have to provide some type of proof about your innocence. So those are beautiful words, but this is not real life. You know what I mean? Real life is different. And it's crap that if you are in that situation, you have to do it. But it's the only way you can get out of prison. Carla, Andy Baldwin has this. Tom is no match. I have zero concern. Wait and see. Let's see. The preview doesn't look good. No, I don't want. You think so? You're giving me a lot of credit, but not that. There is no history of this type of crime of a person like Richard Allen. The evidence is not there. I agree with you. That's why I'm disappointed with the answers of Baldwin. Huevos, yeah, bolas. We say huevas in Colombia, in Medellin. Kelt, hello folks. Just saw the ad for Tom's video. Read a few comments. Just don't have the stomach to deal with his fan base. Yeah, I understand. No, te comprendemos. Está bien. Logan, tore down a barn within the MTH. What is an MTH? I'd love to debate Tom. You can try. Send him an email. He's at the list. He's gonna reply. He's really nice. So now you are attacking Andy and looking up to Tom Webster. Whose team are you on Cryptex? My team is like the logical kind of reasoning. I'm not a cheerleader of the defense attorneys. I'm not a cheerleader of the prosecution. I think both of them are crap. So I don't have to be in any team. Do I have to be in a team here? No. Why? I prefer to be alone than to be in a crappy team. I respect Tom Webster, and I respect some people from the pro Allen side. I don't have to be in any fucking team, in an echo chamber. I can think by myself. Amy, I think Cryptex is not on either side, which is why I enjoy his take, even though we disagree. He's not involved. Thank you for that comment, Amy. Or maybe it's not I don't have any agenda here. Are you fucking crazy? What an idiot. Vicarious Vigilante. Justice has no names, exactly. I'm gonna block this piece of shit. Sorry for that, but she's being an idiot. They couldn't say Ron Logan's or the claims names. They could. They could, they didn't want to. Of course they could. What were they able to redact a frank memorandums about Odinism? So they could talk about Odinism, but they couldn't talk about Logan and they couldn't talk about Klein. I don't buy that. Thank you so much, Carla. Digital. The only real evidence the defense had to work with was provided by Click. The evidence McLellan handed over was not from a real investigation, and then it was altered, manipulated, hidden, and lied. I don't think the material related to the clients was manipulated, but some of them was not. Good to see you, Digital, by the way. Justice is a process and must be achieved in a transparent and fair manner. 100%. Yes, of course. It's his channel. He's not gonna do a harakiri. Of course it is. And I think every single channel would do the same. And he did great, in my opinion, at least in this clip, for real. No DNA is a big deal. Yeah. I think the judge was crap. The detectives were crap. The defense lawyers were crap. It's like in this case, we won the lottery. Crap here, and crap there. It's crazy. Amy, I personally think some of the questions I heard from Tom did flatten very complex issues, which is problematic. But I hope defense has answered that reveal that. I was hoping to have some answers here. So far, no real answers from the defense. Just the greatest answer from Baldwin was the detectives were lying. Really? Kelt, I wouldn't have done that interview with Tom Webster. His group will do their best to cut and twist words. I don't think he's gonna edit the whole interview. If he's saying already that the interview is gonna take 6 hours, I think he's not gonna cut anything, but let's see. Let's see. And I think he's fair, for real. An indicted co-conspirator just woke up and wandering in late, and I missed everything. Tom Webster interview? Yeah, it's coming. He just provided like a trailer, I call it, a preview. Very interesting, by the way. I know Spanish, but it sucks. My English is better. Where are you from? This interview looks very choppy and edited. Of course, it's a preview. It's normal. It's normal. How did Elvis Fields know about the sticks? Did he know something? I don't know. I don't know if he knew something. The whole thing about the horns could be questionable. I don't know. And yeah, maybe he knew. Maybe he knew. Who knows? No, you don't exaggerate at all. You don't. Digital. Tom doesn't question the validity of what the state presented. The screenshots instead of actual video, the photos and videos with wrong timestamps. I agree 100% with you. That's why I was saying that you can challenge Tom Webster easily. That's why I'm being very disappointed with the answers of these attorneys. 100%. They shouldn't have done that interview. But that shows like good faith from the defense. But at the end, it's like a confirmation of how incompetent they are. Yeah, 100%, Chester, I agree with you. They're afraid of something. I think the whole situation is related to multiple people being involved. And the story was that was sold by the prosecution is that this crime was committed by only one guy. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion, at all. And yeah. And again, to me, the clients are behind the crime. Peggy, sometimes people take notes containing talking points they would like to make and revisit during an interview. Yeah, okay, maybe I was too hard on that irrelevant aspect. You're right. I take back that. Yeah, me too. I'm super curious. Curious, for real. And a lot of people are not gonna like that. But I think it's something important to have. Yeah, exactly. Snippets. Yeah, let's see. Of course, it's normal, Kelt. It's normal that it's edited. It's a preview. Tom said in his post that the lawyers got the better of him, yet his clip makes it look otherwise. Both sides are excited to watch. Tom is playing the thank you game, you mean? I don't know. YouTube, okay. YouTube game, okay. That's right. Depends on the skills. I agree with you. Digital. Didn't Holder log in at the local gym before he logged out of work on the 13th? Can be at both places. Am I remembering wrong? Maybe the order of the events is not the correct, but I may be wrong too. And if you're right here, that's the type of answer I would expect from Baldwin. You know what I mean? So you are doing a better job than Andy Baldwin. Okay. Analyse. The last Defense Diaries video was titled something like, "If you got the right guy, why lie?" I was not very interested in that lie from the Defense Diaries because it's like you're having cheerleaders doing an interview to you. They were not asking hard questions. So this is why I like this type of interview. You have a YouTuber from one side, the prosecution side, and you have defense attorneys, lawyers. Like the interview that was made by Hidden True Crime to Holman and Nick. There's no interest in watching that interview. She was asking easy questions. So I would like to have, for example, an interview between Bob Mota and Nick McClelland or Holman. That would be something. But Bob Mota doing an interview to Baldwin, like you have a cheerleader asking you questions, you know what I mean? So what's the fun there? That's why I'm very excited in this interview that Tom Webster is making to Baldwin. No, sorry, maybe I'm the one who's not understanding properly your comments. No worries. Big fishy in a very small pond. Oh, very fishy. Yeah, I agree with you, and I think digital was altering the order of the events, not in a fishy way, just his memory was playing games with his brain. You are best friends now, guys. You know what's the problem? That digital, that Brad Rossi, he had a lot of information about Keegan Klein from his associate Ashi. And if we had a lot of information to construct a logical theory here, imagine the defense attorneys. Que lata. Also que lata. Que lata. And Ali said, I'm glad Baldwin and Jennifer were willing to do this with Tom. Oh, yeah. Tom is an analyst. He formed an opinion about guilt, but he got there through thinking and analyzing. I agree. The preliminary with Tom had no answer because it was a preliminary. But the few answers we had there were really bad. Really bad. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna end the live here. Please hit the like again. Let's wait for the whole interview. That's gonna be very interesting. Buy your popcorns, and yeah, it's impossible that they didn't do a strong case against Keegan Klein. It's impossible. He confessed. What else do you want? They found something in the Wabash River. And that's why Richard Allen is in prison. So I don't buy that at all. Okay, guys, stay in touch. Thank you for watching. Buy your popcorns for next weekend, and stay in touch. See you guys.